Alright, so here's a tutorial on if you have a purchase and you are closing the buyer side and your buyer has additional payoffs that the lender wants to be paid off at closing. Has nothing to do with the property, but let's say they have credit cards or student loans or anything like that. We would First thing, we would not enter those payoffs as a normal payoff. If it's a purchase file and there's a buyer and a seller, the payoff line is meant for sellers only. So I would enter these additional buyer payoffs, even though they're technically called payoffs, but debits, in the miscellaneous charges. So I'm going to enter them here, and there's a few ways we can enter them. If there's only one or two, we can just do it as a normal line. Let's just say, Chase Bank credit card. Let's do this, services. That's who I want to make my payee, and I need to do credit card payoff, loan number. So we'll do that. So you notice I also did the alternate buyer payee. Even though I typed it in right here, I still need to go in and change my payee here. So I need to add that. Let's just choose something. We can credit them or debit them there. So save that. It's a buyer debit. Now for example, my CD has multiple student loans with, it's all the same payee, but there's different accounts that we want to apply it to. So there's this bulk miscellaneous contract charges that we can do. I'm going to reference student loans. The payee is U.S. student loans, or whatever that's going to be. And then we can add in the amount. And so that's one transaction line, and we can add multiple transaction lines here. So let's do second payoff account. If you know account numbers, same payee. You can put in the amount there. And you can do, I don't know how many, but up to a couple. You can hit save changes. Oh, it's saying I'm missing the payee for those ones that I didn't do, which is fine because I left those out on purpose. And there we go, we have those added 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have the same payee. And actually looks like it did 4 separate ones. I know that one's students, but 4 separate payees. And when we look at disbursements, it's going to have 4 separate checks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want those all on one check. So I'm going to go back in and change the payee to the one that has S on it. So that one's good. Change the payee to the S one. Same with this. And this one. So now that's grouping them all to the same payee. We can go back to disbursements and see that there's one line now, and you can click on it and it puts all 4 of them on. So that way we can cut one check, but with this breakdown below it that would have account numbers or whatever you want it to say. That is for buyer payoffs. That also puts it on the CD correctly, because when you use payoffs down here, even if you enter it as a buyer debit, it pulls it onto the seller CD. So I do not recommend that. Just show you that example. So I put it as a buyer debit, and if I were to go pull my seller CD, it has that payoff on there. So just make sure that if it's a buyer payoff, additional payoffs, don't really want to call them payoffs themselves, but they are more of a miscellaneous charge that we add them in miscellaneous. So yeah,